Hi everybody, so today we are going to create a lovely double French inlay, and I'm going to do some nail shape correction because as you can see the nails are starting to grow downwards again. So first I'm going to start off by removing all the gel polish and see if there's any lifting, but I'm pretty sure there's not. And I'm going to leave a lot of the product on top of her nail bed because I'm gonna need that in a few minutes. And why remove it if I'm going to apply it again afterwards? So I'm just gonna leave that on. But once I'm done filing off all the gel polish, I am going to create a nail bed. So I'm just going to start there with my e-file, and I'm going to create that nail bed shape, that extended nail bed shape, obviously. So I'm just carefully carving that away, and I'm going to thin out the free edge, of course. I am going to do a nail shape correction, so I have to keep that in mind later on with applying my product, but for now I'm just going to continue as I am. And you can see that nail bed shape coming in right now, and it's already getting a lovely shape. So I'm just going to have to do a few minor touch-ups with my hand file later on, making sure that it's really nice, round, and very crisp, of course. So I'm just thinning it out, getting rid of all that excess. I am going to leave a very thin layer, of course, because otherwise I would have to extend her nail again, and that would be even more works. So I'm just gonna leave it like that and repeat the same process on the rest of our nails. And of course you could take everything off and start from scratch again, but it's going to be the same color that she's already wearing for her nail bed. So yeah, it would be such a shame removing that. And I know it can be a little bit tricky creating that nail bed shape again with your e-file, and you could use like thinner, longer bits for that, but I'm just a little bit lazy. So I'm just keeping on this nail bit, but I have a lot of experience, so I'm not afraid of doing that. But still, I still have to be careful and really keep my focus on doing this, because if I get distracted, I will make mistakes too. So yeah, for me this is just easier leaving on the free edge, and I'm just going to file it away later on underneath. It's for me, in my mind, it's more work getting rid of everything again, applying a nail form and all that stuff. I'm just going to file it away underneath later on. And as you can see, this works pretty well, and it goes really fast, and I just have to do a little bit of infill. Maybe some nails need a little bit more product on the nail bed, but that's about it. And with this client, I'm removing her cuticle tissue manually. I usually do this manually on her nails. Her nails respond really well to that. And this also ensures me not to damage her nail plate, because this is really, really soft for her nails, but her cuticle tissue is stuck on pretty good. So it might seem like I'm really applying a lot of pressure, but I'm really not. Her cuticle tissue is just really tough in some spots. So but yeah, it's really a really satisfying process. You get really clean nails with doing this manually. And yeah, this is about all the prep work I need to do on her nails. This is it. Well, of course, scrub her nails later on before applying product. But this is it, just removing the cuticle tissue very carefully, making sure that everything is gone, and that's it. You don't have to file above nails for product to stay on for weeks for them to not lift. You just have to get rid of the cuticle tissue. That's really important, and making sure that you really scrub the nails with the right product before applying, you know, your acrylic, your biap, your builder gel, whatever. Some clients don't respond to this technique as well, and you could just ever so lightly buff the new nail growth or remove the cuticle tissue with your electric nail file. Then you've also made some scratches on a nail, and that's about it. You know, you really don't have to go in with your hand file and damage that nail plate. And if you're trying this technique and you're getting lifting anyway, there could be a few issues. Most of the issues are not applying the right type of product for that type of nail. You know, I work with all the systems because not every system is suitable for every nail. So, you know, when I started doing this technique, I really did have to change products for some clients because it just wouldn't work anymore. But, you know, that was, in my mind, better than damaging their natural nails. So yeah, I just took that extra step in yeah, ensuring that my clients keep having healthy natural nails underneath their nail product, and not removing every piece of cuticle tissue is another major issue. Yeah, there are so many things that could be wrong with why you would get lifting. So many, so many. Right now I'm applying my rubber base clear for the base, and this is my acrylic gel dark pink. And also using a dehydrator out of a bottle, you know, with just a little brush could cause lifting because you will get grease and dirt on the brush, and it will settle on the bottom of your um, bottle. And you know, in time, you know, over a period of time, it could get so saturated that you are brushing on grease and dirt onto yeah, new nail sets, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I always use wipes. And yeah, I will never use a brush because I really don't want to risk that. And I have a pretty big clientele, so you know, getting issues in that apartment would be disastrous. You know, I really don't have time fixing all that. So, you know, I just always be, I'd rather be, yeah, safe than sorry in the end. You know what I'm saying? You know, those are just a few things that could cause lifting, but there are even more things like not having the right curing lamp for the right product. Yeah, using only alcohol to scrub the nails because, you know, alcohol can attract, is known for attracting moisture, and then, you know, it just won't dehydrate as well, and you could get lifting. So, you know, there are a lot of factors involved. Also, you know, usage of your client's nails, you know, when you are not around, of course. That could be a major thing too, but you can see that by looking at her nails, like, what did she do with them? So, yeah. So I've almost got this nail bed ready, and you can see there's a lot of product I need to get rid of, so it's growing downward pretty bad. But that will be fixed in the end. Right now I am filing her nail bed area, making sure it's nice and round and crisp. And I always tend to look at the, you can see when I'm filing, you're creating that white border of dust, you know, and I'm looking at that border to see if I need to do any more filing. It's it becomes a guide basically. And right now I'm just checking the wall if it's nice and flush and straight. Not that any product is hanging over, and because you will get indents later on, it will look really, really ugly. So yeah, I just have to make sure that I've gotten rid of all of that. And of course, I did wipe away the inhibition layer before doing any filing. So I'm going to use this lovely, what is like a copper, brownish, reddish glitter. Really, really gorgeous. And I'm just going to scoop it into another container. And I'm going to apply lots of builder gel, clear builder gel, so everything will get really saturated into the builder gel. Such a pretty glitter. So I'm just mixing, and I really don't want to spill everything out of this container, so just carefully taking my time. And now I'm gonna go in with my paint gel black, and I'm just going to paint that wall black right into those smile line corners, just getting it in there. And it doesn't have to be really, really neat. I really don't want to make a big mess, but I'm not gonna be super careful, that it takes me more time to be super careful than just filing it away with my e-file. And I'm gonna do that for most of her nails, but for two of them on each hand, I'm gonna be doing the same thing, but I'm gonna use my white paint gel like so. So just the same process. Just gonna paint that wall right up into that most upper corner of her smile line. And again, being careful not to make a complete mess, but not, being super careful. I am being careful though, not getting it onto her skin. I really don't want that, but other than that, I can just file it away later. And that finger really needs a nail shape adjustment to my left side because it's growing downwards and inwards. And now it's time for some glitters. So I'm going to do this double French inlay, but I'm going to keep it solid. So you could do it, with just a very a thin layer of glitters, and then just apply clear on top of it, and it would be like you could really look into it like glass, but I'm just going to keep this solid. So I'm just fully covering it with those lovely, gorgeous glitters. And you do have to be careful though. Just work thin layers with your glitters, because your glitters will keep gel from curing, because your light won't be able to penetrate all the way through. And you really do want to have enough builder gel around those glitters, otherwise your nail is just going to break later on. And for the white nails, they are going to get white builder gel. Yeah, I used builder gel for this. Same thing, but then with solid white builder gel. And also I'm gonna do this in a few steps, because white, like mega white, is just really tricky for application, because the name says it already says it, it's mega white, so it's super mega pigmented, which also means it's very hard for your UV light to penetrate all the way through. So just work in thin layers. And as you can see, I made a little mistake. I was getting ahead of myself. First, I need to file it again, making sure that it's nice and crisp and round. And I've got this nice wall that I can place the rest of the gel against. But fortunately, I saw my error before she cured it, so that was good. Yeah, filing the white part, same thing. Just making sure that it follows the nail bed, and like I said, this nail grows inward too, so I have to make sure that I don't follow the growth of her nail. I need to create my own straight path forward. And as you can see, I'm managing to do that because you can see her free edge, going off to the side, and my nail bed is going straight out. So yeah, just gonna keep doing that until I'm happy and the shape is on point. Same thing for the rest of the nails, of course. And now I'm going to apply my paint gel white to get that as extra crisp line against the glitters. And you could choose not to do that, but in my experience, getting that really crisp white line against that, it just makes it pop so much more. It really makes a difference. Just laying your builder gel straight against it or first applying that white line. And like I said, I'm working with solid colors right now, completely solid glitter wall and completely white wall. If I were to do with a glass layer on top, like I said, like a very thin layer of glitters and then placing your builder gel clear or whatever on top, then I would have had to completely remove the old structure of the nail and start from scratch with nail forms, because the risk would be really, really high that I would file away all my hard work if I were to file it, away underneath. You know what I'm saying? So with solid colors, it's fine because you've got this solid wall of colors. If you're going to file it underneath, nothing's going to happen. You will still have that same solid color. But if you're working in very thin layers, then I would not recommend using this technique. Then I would just recommend taking off the entire nail and start from scratch. And I absolutely love doing designs like this. It's a lot of work, but I just absolutely love it. Why not? Why not? And these were her Christmas nails, by the way. So it's been a few weeks, but I really don't have a lot of time doing a lot of videos and doing a lot of editing. I have two businesses and I'm a mom of two and married, so I have a lot of things going on in my life. And yeah, so I used to post a little bit more, but that was before I had two companies. And yeah, yeah, sometimes it's hard, juggling everything, keeping everything going. So I'd rather choose peace over stress, you know what I'm saying? Just slow down a little bit, and once I feel like doing it, I will do it, and if I don't, then I won't. And right now I'm filing those lower arches because I want the nail to come straight out of the nail bed, again out of the side walls. Yeah, so filing straight underneath, and now I'm going to take away a lot of the excess before doing any filing on top. I find that easier because then it's easier for me to see what's left later on. Yeah, so carefully carving away all that excess gel. So I really want to get that C curve back in. You really have to be careful not to take away a lot, too much, or to file the free edge too thin, because you will have to apply product after you've already started filing, and that is like the worst thing ever, in my opinion at least. And her fingers are blocking the view a little bit. I did not see that when filming, but I'm gonna do another nail and it will be easier to see. So here's her index finger. I'm going to carve it all away very gently, just like that. And another good thing is that underneath you will also get that lovely French look. Absolutely, absolutely love it. And I'm also taking away her natural nail, of course, which is good, especially for these nails. With the longer nails, it's really hard not to file away the natural nails because they will grow crooked. But for shorter nails, it's fine leaving it underneath. Some people prefer to have their natural nails underneath, and it's all fine by me, you know. If they're not having any lifting on the free edge, it's fine. Some people do, and you will have to take away the free edge all of the time. Some people don't. So yeah, I just go with whatever works best for that specific client. And as you can see, I'm just going to repeat the same process on the rest of her nails, and the thumbs and index finger are the worst. The rest is, well, a little bit crooked, but not as bad. So just a little bit less effort on these nails. But I always do find that this is a very, very satisfying process to see getting rid of that product underneath. Oh, so lovely. And of course, I'm going to apply some top coat later on underneath, so they will be nice and shiny and glittery too. And now it's time to file on top, getting rid of all that bulk. And let's see if I did a good job with that fringe. Because you know it's always a surprise if you paid enough attention and got everything crisp and nice. Well, you know, not a very big surprise, but I am always a little bit stressed out if, you know, I did a good job, because having a crooked French is, ugh, yeah, it just ruins the entire set. So, but this set came out really, really nice. So I was really, really pleased with how everything looked. And as you can see, there's not that much bulk on top left because I filed away a lot underneath, though they seemed pretty thick, but in reality they aren't. Same thing for the thumb. The thickest part is the very tip of the new nail bed where I'm at right now, but that's not a lot of work to get rid of because, you know, I still have to have an apex, so I can leave a lot of product on top. And it's just so satisfying to see that French come to life. Like, oh, there it is, you know. First it's stuck on a little bit of excess product, and then you start to file over it, and there it is, those two very crisp smile lines. Like, oh, gorgeous, really, really satisfying. And she did do a second holiday set. Oh, that one was so gorgeous, but I forgot to film that one. We were in a bit of a hurry, and yeah, it does take a little bit of extra time filming these nails. So yeah, we decided not to that time, but they were really, really, really pretty. And now it's time for some top coat. getting it all on, and look at that. Oh, those glitters are so gorgeous. I wish you could have seen them in real life, but I am going to do a close-up later on to see if I can get you to see what I see. But yeah, just going to top coat it, give it a full cure, and I believe I've already top coated underneath, but I forgot to film that part too. Yeah, sometimes I'm just really into my job and forgetting that I'm filming. And I always find that reveal with a top coat very satisfying too, because of course they are gorgeous and very pretty. But getting that top coat on, oh, really, really, really makes it pop. Very pretty. And I asked her if she wanted any like snowflakes on top or anything, or no, she didn't. She was very happy with how they looked right now. So we decided just the top coat and nothing more, you know. Sometimes less is more, and of course, you know, whatever my client wants, I'll make. And here they are, don't they look pretty? Now you can see that lovely glitter a little bit better. Oh, look at that, so pretty. So I really hope you've liked this video, and thank you all so much for watching. Um, yeah, I wish you all a very good day and a very good new year. Goodbye.